Perfectionists often view their perfectionism with pride. But could it be that for leaders, this perfectionism is really a problem? Is this quality that we tout as a strength actually causing damage to the teams we lead? Today, we will look at the possibility that our perfectionism might actually be undermining our leadership. Many of us who have perfectionistic tendencies are proud of that perfectionism. We claim it is one of the reasons we produce such high-quality work. But perfectionism has a dark side, especially for those of us who lead. Before we dive into the dark side of perfectionism, let's make sure we're on the same page with our language. Perfectionism isn't the same thing as striving for excellence. It's not merely paying close attention to details or producing high-quality work. When we talk about perfectionism, we're talking about what Fred Harburg refers to as the unrelenting drive to meet impossibly high standards. These impossibly high standards often lead us to engage in destructive self-criticism because perfectionists can't separate identity from the work. So when we fail to meet our own perfectionistic standards, we don't just fail, we are failures. The project isn't flawed, we are flawed. This is a heavy load. So it's no surprise that perfectionism often fuels depression, leads to burnout, contributes to chronic stress, and leaves us with a constant sense of overwhelm. But we somehow convince ourselves that it's worth the price for the quality of work we produce. Now, if our perfectionism only impacted us, we might be able to make that argument. We would be wrong, but we could make the argument. Here are 4 ways it impacts our team and our culture. First, our perfectionism causes the productivity of our team to plummet. When a manager or leader is a perfectionist, it slows down our team's work. They know that good is never good enough for their perfectionist manager. So they spin their wheels, wasting time trying to make things perfect. Checking, double checking, triple checking, making sure that they have everything just right. And they end up giving high priority to low value tasks, wasting time and effort while making no real impact. Second, our perfectionism demotivates our team. They know they can never meet your standard. I really want that to sink in. They know they can never meet your standard. And even if you praise them for parts of their work, you will always find something wrong, something that's not up to standard, something that's not the way you would have done it. And it's that feedback, not the praise, that carries the most weight. Third, they refuse to learn from their mistakes, or even worse, they hide them. So much energy is put into avoiding mistakes that discussing or examining them is absolutely out of the question. If they get chastised enough, it becomes rare that anyone will even admit their mistakes. They learn that it's better to hide them, to ignore them, or to blame someone else for them. And all of that poisons your culture. Broken processes and knowledge gaps are never identified, and growth is stifled as the same mistakes are made over and over. Finally, perfectionism inevitably results in micromanagement. As we've seen, perfectionists are all about control. We need things to be perfect. How can we make sure that the work of the team is perfect? Well, we try to control the outcomes by controlling the people doing the work. The more our perfectionistic standards go unmet, the tighter the perfectionistic leader squeezes, seeking to gain control to get things right, all of which stifles creativity and destroys morale. No matter how much we want to insist otherwise, perfectionism is damaging, especially for those of us who are managers, supervisors, or leaders. In a future video, we're going to look at ways to counteract our perfectionistic tendencies. So be on the lookout for that in a couple weeks. But for now, thank you for partnering with us as you find your lead. If this was helpful, hit the like button And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more leadership content.